Hi, welcome back to Getting It All Out. We attempt to get it all out there. We have an awesome continuation of our 3-part series, The Pain That People Are In. But first things first, legalities. Audience discretion is advised. Adult language and adult content may be ahead. We do not own the rights to any music played on the podcast. The views and opinions given are only those of the podcast panel and no one else. And with that being said, let's acknowledge our awesome sponsors and pay some bills. Got visions? Visit TheEnterprise20LLC.com, where they work to make dreams a reality. Work on Me Therapeutic Massage LLC.com, working to keep you in motion. Hope Lawn Services, where beautiful lawns don't appear by themselves. We'll be back with our show.
Welcome back to Getting It All Out. Well, we gonna get it all out and talk about it. So tonight, topic is the third part of pain. We've heard first part of pain, which is the physical pain that we talked to our massage therapist, KML, thank you.
You're welcome.
Our second part of pain was the mental pain, where we had neuropsychologists join us, Leanne Foster. Leanne, if you've given a listen tonight, thank you. And now we're going to talk about the worst pain of all, emotional pain. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the worst one to have. Absolutely. So the definition to emotional pain, a state of feeling broken that involves the experience of being wounded, loss of self, disconnection, and critical awareness of one or more negative attributes. So ladies, let's talk about it. Emotional pain. Hit me on with what you got, KML.
Okay. What I got on emotional pain is the first thing that you have when anything, it's the first. The secondary is like anger, joy, peace, love, all of that type of thing. And I want to read this that I was studying while we was getting ready. It says emotional intelligence is a social skill that can help you become more aware and tactful in understanding, handling your own emotions as well as the emotions of others. Benefits of emotional intelligence include, but not limited to, improvements in coping, well-being, relationship satisfaction, and resilience. The most common model utilized for the ability of emotional intelligence is 4-branch models. In this model, emotional intelligence is divided into the ability to recognize or perceive emotions in oneself and others, utilize emotions to communicate, comprehend, and regulate emotions, and manage emotions to promote understanding and self-growth. That is the Meyer, Caruso, Salovey's 4-branch models of emotions, the emotional intelligence. And we all 4 of us are intelligent women, right? We deal in most of our relationships, we deal with other intelligent people. We coexist with intelligent people. But at the same time, when you're dealing with your own emotions, I think that we have not had that upbringing. We dealt with, or we grew up having a face for the public and having a face for private. But we never was taught on how to deal with our emotions in an intelligent way. And so that's what I got on emotions, because right now I'm dealing with the emotion of anger. But that's just where I am right now in my life, in my stage of life, what I'm going through. I have anger because I don't feel that I should be in the situation that I'm in of any fault of mine. It wasn't no fault of mine. And so I'm still angry about that. So I'm dealing with the emotion of anger. What'd you say, TT?
All righty. We're going to kick it over to DJ Todd. Hit me with emotional pain.
From some of the readings that I've read, it's a lot of the reason why a lot of people seek out therapy. And I do want to say that in our race, that's very rare to even seek out therapy. And I do advise it if that emotional pain gets to where it's just so distressing that it's affecting every other part of your life. Like you can't even get out of bed in the morning. If it gets don't even let it get that bad, but emotional pain is the worst. I agree. Like in the beginning, what you said, it's like the ultimate of all of them. Like physical pain, you can get over it, you can heal, get some antibiotics, and go on about your business. But that brain is hard to heal.
Right. And it holds the emotional conflict. Yeah. Okay. And what you got for me, Betty J? Emotional pain.
Well, I'm just gonna bounce off of all of y'all. I do feel like emotional pain is the toughest because I feel like there's no pill, there's nothing that can heal that. That's something that you have to do on your own. Yes, you can go through therapy, you can rely on God, but you still have to do the work to get through it. And sometimes it'll just creep up on you and you don't even realize that you're depressed or, that you're just emotionally hurt. Sometimes it just creep up on you. Sometimes it'll get triggered out of nowhere and you have to deal with it. So I do agree that emotional pain really is the toughest. It is. So that's what I got on that.
Yeah, I agree with that trigger.
Yes.
And absolutely, emotional pain deals with two of the organs, two of the most important organs in the body, because if any of these two shut down, you out. And that's the brain part.
Mm-hmm.
Some reason you can have your thought process, but you don't feel it in that old heart. You know what I'm saying? To me, the one thing the brain cannot rule over is the heart.
Yeah.
You can be literally telling yourself in your mind, that person's no good for you. That person's no good for you. Leave that person alone. That person don't mean you no well, but that old damn ass heart be getting all up in there within what emotion? Mm-hmm. Because you feel it. It's internal. You feel the depth of it. And it says here, emotional pain, which is an unpleasant feeling of a psychological and a non-physical origin. Then we have some examples of emotional pain. Let's touch on some of these examples before I dig deep into how I feel about emotional pain, because when I dig deep, I'm probably America. I'm finna tell y'all because I'm going through some stuff. In my life,
we all going through stuff
right now. So I'm gonna save TT's feelings for later, but we're gonna deal with some of these examples of emotional pain. We have depression,
secondary,
guilt,
secondary,
failure,
all of those are secondary,
rejection,
secondary,
loneliness, brooding, grief, trust issues, world pain. With everything that is going on in the world today, such as police brutality, COVID pandemic, racial losses of your loved one, and injustices, living in a world that disappoints and enrages us will feel the pain when the world doesn't live up to its expectations. So let's tackle some of those examples of emotional pain. What are some thoughts and feelings that you all have on dealing with some of those examples of emotional pain? Or are you yourself dealing with some of those examples of emotional pain? But before we get into that, we're going to kick it to our first break. DJ God, take us to our first break.
All righty then. What's up, my Mississippians and beyond? With all that's going on with COVID-19, the pandemic, and just life in 2020, we here at GIO want you to know that you are not alone with every emotion that you may be going through too. We are feeling the same thing you are feeling, the uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, the anxiety, and any other emotion that you could possibly go through. We too here are feeling the same thing. And again, you are not alone. You are in our prayers. GIO has the entire world in our prayers right now, as should everyone. We need it. And with that being said, we pray for a better year and years to come for everyone. We love our wonderful sponsors for hanging in there this year with us. Vision Enterprise 20, VEnterprise20LLC.com, where they work to make dreams a reality. Work on Me Therapeutic Massage LLC, working to keep you in motion. And Poke Lawn Services, where beautiful lawns don't appear by themselves. We absolutely love our fans and our listeners. And with that being said, if you would like to be a sponsor, visit VEnterprise20LLC.com and let us know. We would love for you to join us on this journey. We'll be back with more of our show.
Okay, and we're back. And when we left off, we was talking about examples of emotional pain. So I'm going to kick it to each one of the ladies and let them talk on the examples, or maybe, that they've been through some of these examples. So let's start off with Betty J. Examples of emotional pain.
I feel like depression, I've struggled with that throughout my whole entire life. I've actually been having symptoms of depression these last few days. I don't know if they're due to my period, but yeah. So, I've dealt with that. Guilt, of course, because as I've mentioned before, I have cheated on my boyfriend. So, I've dealt with guilt. Grief, I can't really touch on grief because I haven't really lost anyone that's that close to me like that just yet. But, I do know secondhand from my boyfriend who's still dealing with that, with his losing his father and his grandfather. So I can only imagine how I'll deal with it. But, I've dealt with some of those, and I just feel like it takes time, as KML would say, it takes time to get through it. Yeah, but it does get better. It does get better as time goes by.
It does, absolutely. Okay, KML, hit me with some examples of emotional pain.
Emotional pain is the underlying source of whatever's going on in your life. Mm-hmm. Whatever is brought on with depression, anxiety, death of a loved one, or just being enlightened in a marriage where one has been enlightened and the other one is not there yet, that can cause emotional pain. As far it not just in marriage, but in relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships, period. Anytime you have a relationship with anyone, you're going to either be equally smart or one is going to be smarter than the other. That's with relationships across the board. Now, how do you deal with that? How do you coexist with that? You never make the person that's not where you are intelligently, you do not make that person feel bad for not knowing or their lack of enlightenment. Uh-huh. That brings on emotional pain because you be wanting somebody to get it. You be wanting them to get it because you got it. But in all actuality, everybody learns at a different pace. Some learn slower than others. I think that what happens most of the time is avoidance. You try to avoid situations. You try to minimize situations that triggers your emotions, whether it's anger or depression or anxiety. You try to minimize that to keep down conflict. A lot of times when someone asks, how are you doing? You say fine when you're really not.
Yeah. When
you are asked a point blank question, an open end question, you don't always answer it. You answer it with a short answer, Mm-hmm. So for someone who has anxiety, that can have quite an impression on that person when you're dealing with people that haven't mastered how to explain how they feel. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense? So I think that's something we need to look at when it comes to emotional pain, the avoidance and minimizing what you're going through. Yeah, when you avoid or minimize, you're trying to, everybody is not equipped to deal with conflict in the proper way. There are triggers. Everybody has triggers. And I've learned over the years that I know what my triggers are. And I don't play with those triggers because I can go from 0 to 100 in a snap of a finger. But at the same time, I can come back down and be cordial or be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of. I don't mind conflict, but I try to avoid it because I know my triggers. And once you know your triggers, you try to put what I tell my family or have tried to teach my daughter. You have to put safeguards in place for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that when the emotional pain, when it builds up, it becomes because you have avoided something that you should have dealt with at first base. You know,
right? Putting it under the rug and then
it under the rug, minimizing it, avoiding it. Had you dealt with it head on, you would not be struggling emotionally with how you feel or how you make someone else feel. That's my take on it.
Okay. And DJ, examples of emotional pain.
I did deal with a lot of loneliness when I was single, and that is painful, being lonely. That I can't say that. But that goes back to that whole.
You're lonely in a relationship.
Well, that's true too, but right now I enjoy my alone time, so that's another story. But anyway, I just dealt with grief. I dealt with a death of a very, very close friend's father who was like a father to me, and it brought back a lot of emotions about losing my parents a while ago, and I lost them like 7 months apart, both of them, and so that brought up those emotions this week. So grief is definitely, definitely painful. Depression.
Yes.
I'm sure I had that being a single mom and probably still have some, you know. And anxiety. My anxiety used to be bad back a while back, but I think I've got a hold of it a little better now. But anxiety can be painful as well because you can have these panic attacks that I've had before, and I'm on blood pressure medication because of anxiety. Everything else is fine, just my anxiety. So that is painful, having to be on medication because of an emotion that you can't control. Anxiety is really hard to control. Like you said, you can take a pill, but it's still there mentally. So at some point in our life, we've all dealt with some kind of type of painful emotion, and we're always going to have to. No matter your status, your race, no matter any of that, you're always going to deal with some type of painful emotion. That's it.
I have a question. When you speak on anxiety, what interests me is if y'all notice, did y'all ever have any anxiety as a kid? It's like I never even knew what anxiety was until I got older, but I never really remember it as a kid.
Well, when you got ready to get your ass whooped, it was anxiety. Did you remember getting ass whoopings? Or do you remember the feeling that you had before an ass whooping?
No, it's fear.
Well, I mean, you didn't feel anxious or like, you know, like, I don't know. I guess it's different for everybody.
Are you talking about a whooping from a parent or?
Yeah.
A parent, yeah.
A whooping ass from a parent or a peer?
A parent, like, you know, when you get ready to get that next lick, and you like, hold on, don't hit me no more. It's different for everybody, I guess.
I had like fear, but I can't ever think of like anxiety like I have now, like worrying about like stuff that hasn't happened yet. I don't think I've ever remembered that.
That's because you grown now, girl.
But that fear is anxiety.
Sure.
But that fear is anxiety. The fear causes you to anticipate the fact that you finna get your butt whooped. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you began to face and you began to let it overtake you because you're ready to get it over with. Because you know it's gonna be bad. So that fear can be related to anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, I had anxiety too, a little bit about parents whooping, but mine was mostly daddy gonna do a whole bunch of talking. I just want to get my whooping and go home. You know what I'm saying? You know. So yeah, that's anxiety, but that's not it does not compare to the anxiety you're feeling as an adult right now.
Right.
Because everything you as an adult, everything is on you. You have to pull your weight. Whereas when you were a child, your mom and your dad covered that weight for you or carried that weight for you. But now, as an adult, when you got to carry your own weight, you got to make your own decisions. That anxiety is different from a child's anxiety. So Yeah, you have experienced little. Everybody during the day experience some little anxiety about something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a day go by that we don't experience a little anxiety. Whether it's minimized or maximized, we all in our day experience some type of anxiety. And not all anxiety is bad. Though people want you to believe that, but not all anxiety is bad. Some anxiety can motivate you to reach your goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree
I'll
on
give you
that.
an example as a child. Could you remember when you all moved to Chicago and the first time that you and Malik had to go to a new school from what you were used to? Did you not feel anxious?
Mm-mm. I feel like I didn't really start feeling anxious until maybe about I don't know, I want to say maybe high school.
Okay, but I'm saying that's a type of anxiety. You know, just anxious about something, nervous about something. You know what I'm
Stepping
saying?
out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah, stepping out of your comfort zone can bring on anxiety.
Okay, and DJ Bob, were you finished?
I was
I
done.
didn't mean to cut you off.
I was done.
Okay. Well, the examples as far as it goes for me, depression, yes. And I find myself, even though I'm not supposed to, because I know that I believe in God and I know God will see me through, but sometimes it's still hard. You know what I'm saying? When certain things come up on you or come up in your life, as you all have stated, you know, it's easy to get down about it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to drift into depression and not even realize that you're in a depressed state, you know,
Yes.
because we do start to tend to get denial. We go into denial with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, like, you know, KML was saying, approach that stuff head on and deal with it and try to move on from there. So depression, for me, definitely.
Well, TT, I got that from you when you say embrace that emotion. That comes from you. So don't give me credit for that.
Yeah, and embrace that. Guilt, I can't really say because I don't know. I haven't got to that guilt phase of where I feel guilty about something. I really haven't. The most thing I guess I feel guilty about, the only thing that really bothers me to this day is me spanking my baby when she on herself. Because and the reason why that feels guilty to me is because she really just didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to think that that's the method to get her to start doing right. And a whooping can't fix everything. Some things,
that's true.
Yeah, some things take patience and talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get an understanding of where their mindset is. You know, instead of just straight going to the whooping all the time. Now, sometimes you do got to get that belt and crack it. But a lot of times it just takes you listening and being patient with that person, because everybody is not going to be on the level that you are. Don't mean that they won't get there. Yeah. But we got to learn how to deal with people patiently. Because, you know, you're in this realm of wanting everything to be perfect and want everything to be like a fantasy in your head and what you're caught up in. And that's not going to be, especially when you're not explaining yourself. A lot of times people don't explain themselves to you. And so what do? You start to make a bunch of assumptions. Like, okay, well, you're not explaining anything to me. You're not breaking it down. Yeah. You're not trying to get me to understand where you're coming from. You just spitting stuff at me and saying, this what I want, so deal with it. You know? Yeah. So that's the only guilt. Failure. I feel like a failure every day. Yeah. Not in my work, not in taking care of my children, or not in that, but relationship wise. Oh my goodness. That's the most horrifying thing to me is relationship wise. I always feel like a failure because it's like no matter what you do, it ain't good enough. No matter how you say it, you didn't say it right. How you did it, you didn't do it right. And they never explain to you in a correct way how to, okay, well, they do explain it to you, but they still not satisfied. Mm-hmm. They say, okay, do this instead of this. So you do that. Why'd you do it that way? And you usually do it this way. Like, I'm like DMX song. What these bitches want from a nigga? That's just real talk.
Right.
Okay, right. So, rejection every day. Again, relationship wise, I'm constantly getting rejected. I'm constantly getting dumped on. I'm constantly, and listen, I do try to look at myself. I try to look at myself and I try to see, okay, what can I do better? Or how can I improve? Or what is it that I need to do different in order for this to work? But you know what? I woke up one day and then I started looking at it this way. Damn it, I'm me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You. Why we just can't accept that you are you and I am me, but we can still coexist? People don't know how to do that. People think that, okay, I want it this way, so you're going to have to change yourself to do it my way. No, I'm not. I'm going to be me. And I love that you are you. Because why? Those things that you do, that is you, is what attracted me to you. Why would I want you to change them? I used to tell my ex-husband, I don't want you to stop being who you are. Mm-hmm. But I cannot be with you being who you are. So this isn't going to work. I don't want you to change because I don't want to change. Mm-hmm. I accept that you, but I'm just a person who cannot be with you in that way. And it's
but is it wrong to change for the better?
I mean, okay, then you have to define change.
Yeah, better for them.
Yeah, you got to define change. What do I mean by define change? Okay, if I keep saying something that hurts your feelings, I can change from that. But for me to become a whole nother person for you,
right?
If I'm an independent person that work hard and do what I need to do, and you want me to, I don't want you to do that no more. You're gonna become a housewife. You're gonna sit at home, have my dinner ready when I get there. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna meet me.
And that's not who you are. And I'm just saying that's not who you are. Right. And so many times we try to fit into, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, sis, but sometimes we try to fit into somebody else's mold instead of being who God wonderfully and fearfully made us to be.
Right. So that's when I say when I'm talking about change. Now, if they ask you to change a behavior that you got, like, hey, listen, fella, you ain't got to cuss me every day. You need to work on that. Okay? That can be worked on. That can be fixed. But when they try to remold you and remake you, that's what I'm talking about when I say accept who I am as an individual, as a person. Now, if I have certain things I need to work on to improve the relationship, I'll work on those things. But I'm not going to change who I am to fit you to make your life better. And then meanwhile, I'm over here miserable. So, loneliness, oh my goodness. Single life sucks. If you sitting there right now and you hear this podcast and you say to yourself, I love being single. Lies you tell. It ain't nothing good in being single. Okay? Mm-hmm. Get tired of rolling over to people every night. I really do. But I digress. Loneliness, oh my goodness. Off the charts. Brooding, no. I don't sit and just wallow in my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I embrace it. I try to work through it and move on. So brooding, no. Grief, I have lost people that have been very dear to me. Love them and still miss them to this day. So, and world pain, we've all dealt with world pain. But I wanted to touch on emotional pain then when we come back off this break, and because I said I was going to save what I wanted to say for later. So when we come back from this second break, I'll deal in where I'm at with emotional pain.
Oh, I'm going through so much right now, Jesus. Oh, I can't even understand.
COVID-19 in Mississippi. There have been 1,365 new reported cases, 41 new deaths reported, 235 reported long-term facility outbreaks. This is reported now, bringing our totals to over 206,000 total reported cases and over 4,600 reported deaths due to COVID-19. No matter what, you guys, let's just try to go by these CDC recommendations for everyone's sake. If not for your own, for the people around you and your loved ones. And yes, we have this somewhat relieving news about the vaccine. I'm not sure how I feel about the vaccine right now. So how do you guys feel about it? What are your thoughts about it? Let us know by visiting Vision Enterprise, VEnterprise20LLC.com, and let us know how you feel about it. We would love to know. We'll be back with more of our show.
Okay, and we're back from the break, and we left off. We was talking about some examples of emotional pain. KML let me know that she had some bounce off. So before I get into what I was gonna say with dealing with emotional pain, hit me with them bounce off questions, KML.
Thank you, TT. I want one bounce off I have is if there are two people in a relationship and one of those people in their relationship get all their dreams or meet all their dreams or go for all their dreams, succeed at all their dreams, and the other person does not, does that make that relationship a win-win relationship? Because when it doesn't, emotional pain comes from that. So my question is, if there are two people in a relationship, if one gets his or her dreams and the other one does not, who needs to change? What needs to change?
I think it depends. I think it depends. Did that other partner help that partner reach their goals and their dreams?
The other person,
sometimes you can get caught up in helping someone else and then you forget about yourself.
Yeah.
And then that leads you being bitter or envious.
That's what I'm talking about.
That makes sense.
So that's another emotional pain, bitter, and what you say?
Envious.
Envy.
Okay, bitter and envy comes into a relationship when one person, you have helped that person reach their dream, reach their climax, and I'm not talking about sexually either. I'm talking about in life.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it becomes your turn, you put all your stuff on the back burner. How do you get past that?
Okay, well, it's just like the slide in. We had a slide in part to this, which is, can you still love someone after they have hurt you emotionally? So I don't think it's about change or that person needs to change. I think that person, if you love me, no matter what I'm fulfilling or no matter what I'm doing, if you took the vows serious, and you said for better, for worse, for this and for that, then you need to be for me no matter who wins. It's not a competition. It's
right.
The point. When you did what you did, I backed you. I was your cheerleader, rooting you on. You go, Fi. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Then when it's my turn, you should give that same support and encouragement back. You shouldn't look at me climbing up higher than you, or me making more money than you, or me, I'm gonna run off and leave you now that I have this success in my life. It should be a thing of, I'm proud of you. I will be happy to stand by you and cheer you on just as you have cheered me on. And some people just do not know how to do that. Some people just don't. They automatically, once again, we get these assumptions when things are not explained, and they think, okay, if you become a success, you are going to leave me because why? I'm not bringing what you're bringing into it. So you're going to look for somebody else. Don't tell me what I'm going to do and how I feel.
Yeah.
Back me. And then go after your own dream. Hey, I made it. So that should have showed you can make it. So what is it that you want to do? It goes back to what KML always said. Who you mad at? Or what are you really mad at? Are you mad because you had the same opportunity and you didn't go for it?
Yeah.
Or are you mad that I seeked the opportunity and went for it? What is the underlying issue here?
Mm-hmm.
But what if it is your turn and you don't get that support? Like, what if it's that the other partner?
Well, some people.
So
if you supported your mate and you helped them make it and you helped them succeed, and then when you want to go for your dreams, they don't return that same support. So what do you do?
Okay, DJ Bob, let me hear you.
Like my mom always said, Baby, not everybody is raised like you. And that's across the board for any situation, any emotion, if you're dealing with whatever. And another thing, think about it literally. Not everybody can be a cheerleader. Not everybody is meant to be a cheerleader. Not everybody can be one. So put that in your head. And like KML said, it's going to take some time. That's it.
Right. But what do you do? What do you do with that emotion? Because that emotion, that bitterness sets up.
You replace
That
it.
bitterness is a bullet.
You make sure you replace
That
it.
bitterness is a bullet.
You replace it with motivation.
Okay.
I got you.
You replace it.
But I agree.
Good answer.
What you do is this. Say, hey, like sometimes you just gotta give it straight. As hard as it is. Hey, I would love to ride this ride with you, but I don't have to. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either you can go on board.
We getting heated up now, y'all. It's getting heated up in real.
I would love to have you in it with me, but if you are choosing not to for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, that I got to go on though, because this is what I've set aside for me to do. I'm enjoying doing it, so come on board or get off board. Either way. What else you got for me?
Yeah. When you was talking about change and you was talking about behavior, like a behavior is like meanness or being hateful with someone. What about energy draining? If that person drains you of all your energy, what do you do with that?
Well, I get drained of energy almost every day. And what I do with that is plug myself in and recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly do. I plug myself in. I step away from that is draining me of my energy. I step away from it. I reevaluate it. I plug myself in. I recharge before I come back at it. Or I just let that stay over there for as long as it need to stay over there until I feel it can give good energy and I can give good energy. Sometimes all it takes is just stepping away. People, listen, everybody's so quick to throw in a towel. It's gonna be some rough runs. It is, people. You got to know that. If everybody, honestly, everybody is looking for easy street 24/7. Everybody, I have somebody tell me all the time, I need peace in my life. Okay, peace comes from within.
That's right.
You can't wait for somebody to give you your peace.
That's right. Or your confidence. Or your confidence.
Right. You got to already have this. And another thing that I hate and I despise is stop grading me or comparing me to what somebody else did. I'm not them. I'm me. Give me my fair chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do understand that the past teaches us some things. But God himself said, hold the past in reference. Don't live by it, but hold it in reference. And hold it in reference.
Learn from it. That means to learn from it.
Right, to learn from it. Okay, if I see these signs in this person, I know to hesitate a little bit and relook at that again. But if I'm not giving you those signs, if I'm rooting for you on every hand and I'm going for you on every hand, then stop talking about what Sheila and Sarah did. Take that shit up with Sheila and Sarah.
I know
Don't
you're
take
right.
that up with me.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wait till I agree. Okay? Then you can take that shit up with TT. Then you can say that. But until you give me my fair shake. And that's just the bottom line. And you got a lot of people that's doing that. Well, you know, Jennifer broke my heart. And Melody, we slept with my best friend. And Susie, you know, she said she loved me. And come to find out she was with me for my money. What that got to do with Molly? I'm Molly. What I got to do with what they did? Have I done any of those things that they did? Okay then. So wait till I do, then you got that argument. Okay? What else you got for me, Mel?
Well, it's interesting that you would say that to, in general, to people that hold other people responsible for other people's actions.
Right.
It says something about that individual, that they don't have that confidence in themselves to be bigger than what that person left, the garbage that person left them with, basically what it is. You know, they don't have that confidence to overcome, or they don't have that triumphant attitude to overcome what the trash that other person left them with.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do you do with that?
Well, let me tell you what I do, because I can't speak for all of America, you know, and the ones who are our listeners, we love and appreciate you. They still gotta make up their minds for themselves. But this is what I do with that. Every guy, I have been through some things with guys. Do you hear me? I have yet to come in contact with a guy that gives me a fair shake, or sees that I have a big heart, or sees that I will do whatever it takes, you know what I'm saying, for us to make it, for us to do. I have put up with some stuff. You know what? I never ever hold the next guy responsible.
Yeah.
When I go to the next guy that walks into my life, or come into my life, or I come into his, he has a clean slate. I'm going to treat you like a pot of gold. I'm going to treat you like a diamond in the rough. I'm going to treat you like no other. And hey, if I didn't treat you that way, holler at me. Okay? I guarantee you not one can holler at me, because I treat them with all fairness. I don't judge you off of what somebody else did, because you didn't do it.
Right.
So I honestly can't even answer that question for you, KML, because I don't get it. I don't get good girl. Just like they say, good guys finish last, good girls do too.
Yeah.
Nobody got any love for good guys or good girls.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hold on though. I don't know why we as good girls and good guys keep going after the bad guys and the bad girls. We the ones we need to rethink some things and relook at some stuff for real.
Well, we definitely need to re-evaluate that song that was off 50 Shades of Grey. Good guys make it to heaven, but bad guys bring heaven down to you. We really need to look at that song and reevaluate our thinking on that.
Okay.
It's tricky.
What you got for me? Anything, Jay?
What you say, DJ Bob?
I said, yeah, it's really tricky. I just think that when you're going through that emotion, you have to be confident in yourself to know that that next person or your next relationship, or that you are just worthy of a good relationship, a good spouse, a good partner. You got to know that, hey, that person that did you wrong, that was them. It was nothing to do with you. You are fine. Even if you aren't fine, have that confidence to say it wasn't me. Even if it was. That way it helps you move on to the next one. And like TT said, give that next one a clean slate. And that's where I'm at with it.
But okay, DJ Bob, but what do you consider a good partner?
One that supports you, that's your cheerleader, and loves you, flaws and all, regardless. Accepts you for you. And you, yeah. Willing to compromise when it's time, all that. And it's individual for all. It's individual for all.
And that's exactly how
third made.
But hold on, let me ask you ladies this question. Do you believe in your heart that there's a perfect relationship?
Hell no.
No, but I do think there's someone that's perfect for you.
Yes.
But I don't think there's such thing as a perfect relationship.
And it brings me to this song. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you perfect for me. I think that there is someone out there that will compliment you in a very well-mannered way. And what I mean by that is, for your weakness, they have that strength.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They have that strength. For your weakness, they are that strength. It's where, like, what my father teaches about relationships. If you can't read, you need to marry somebody that can read.
Opposites attract.
Can't count. You need to marry somebody that can count. So that's a weakness for a strength. Weakness for a strength in every area of your life.
Yes.
And then, like what DJ Vibe said, even in your weakness and even in their strength, they don't make you feel vulnerable enough to make you a victim because of your weakness.
Right.
And I think that if you want to add perfect to that, that would be a perfect relationship.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think, okay, this is the problem that I got with a lot of males. Males, every time we disagree with you, it's not an argument. Every time it seems like every time you disagree with God or you don't see it the way the guy see it. And it could be females out there like that too. They try to make it be, oh man, you want to argue. I want to argue because I don't agree with you. So you're basically saying that in order for us to have any type of discussion or any type of debate, I got to be agreeing with you. I cannot have my own thoughts, opinions, and feelings and emotions. They have to be your thoughts, opinions, and emotions, or as God's. And I can't wait to do this show, the show on being submissive, because there's a lot of guys that got what being submissive is not. Like they really need to get out the scriptures and read, because they think submissive means you do what I say when I say it, shut up when I tell you to shut up, think when I want you to think, calm when I say calm. And that is not what God was talking about when he was talking about being submissive.
I agree with you 100% right there, TT. But not only that, when they go to the scripture, they first need to get that fantasy of you out of their head.
Right.
And I've always said, I cannot live up to the fantasy in your head that you have for me. Because in a fantasy, you are all powerful. In a fantasy, you have no ailments, no sickness, no limitations. In a fantasy, you can do all things. But in reality, you have limitations. In reality, you don't always look cute. In reality, you don't always feel good. So the first thing they need to do is get the fantasy of that woman that they have in their head. They need to get rid of it. And then plus plug into these scriptures about submissive, like you said. That's all I have.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to look at the worst ways to deal with pain. Some worst ways to deal with pain is tobacco use. It relates to cancer pain. Okay, be careful. Surgeon General, surgical, childbirth, neurogenic, and physiological pain is with tobacco use. That's just with tobacco use. Oh my goodness, y'all better rethink smoking cigarettes. Lord have mercy. Okay, drug use, alcohol, sex. How is the worst way is because when you have sex addiction, that means you get multiple partners because you're trying to subdue a pain that you have instead of dealing with it. You trying to sleep with as many people as you can to forget about it. So that's how sex is a bad way to deal with pain. And food. And food has become my new best friend. Okay? I eat all the time. I'm hungry right now. Okay? So that's the worst way to deal with pain. Do you all have some more worse ways to deal with it?
Not eating
Yes.
is the worst way to deal with pain. Because you have anorexia. You know, you have what's that B word?
Bulimia.
Bulimia and anorexia and all of those things. And you can't be skinny enough. You know, 1 pound is too much. We were not born on this earth to be a 0 pound.
Okay. Nor were we all born to be the same way, man.
Yeah.
Embrace your difference. Embrace your uniqueness. Because it's just like DJ Vibe said, and please listen to DJ Vibe when she tell you, carry your confidence no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it really does make a difference.
Yeah. It can change your whole mind.
You're beautiful.
You know, they say eventually if I keep laughing, I'm going to feel happy. If I keep smiling, I'm going to feel happy. So if you just try to keep that confidence, then eventually it's going to stick.
That's absolutely right. And I work on that every day. I do. I work on myself every day because, like I said, I deal with some stuff, that's internalized. And that's why I said emotional is the worst pain that you can come to because, physical you can work on. You can even work on the mental. You know what I'm saying? But when you got something that's deep and internal in you, that's hard. And you got to work on it every day. And every day, well, I'm beautiful to me. I just think
you are gorgeous, honey.
That's one thing. That's one thing that I don't dog myself out for. Honey, I'm a teen. I don't care if you believe it. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm cute as pie. I really do. But the weight thing does bother me because it's crazy how the weight thing. Okay, and I'm gonna speak on race, but not in a negative way. For black people, we think thick is better.
Yeah.
And white people, they think smaller is better.
It's better, right.
So That's just some issues that we have to work on because, when you black and you skinny, they don't really look at you. They think, okay, you need to eat a pork chop. But, when you...
We're going to get a t-shirt with that made on it too.
Right. When you get thickened up, you turn all kind of heads like, damn, look at that bone, red bone right there, and all of that. So, that's some issues. But of course, when you get to the white woman's perspective, she's like, forget that. You know what I'm saying? I want to put in a size 0 and a 1. A 1 is the biggest I'm willing to go. Other than that, anything past a 1, I'm in the gym working that out. So, yeah, definitely the weight aspect is a bad thing. Like sis said, y'all, the weight can get you. Trust me. Because I done turned to food now. I used to internalize the pain and didn't eat. Now, I'm like, pass me that burger. Them fries, then that milk cake, then that Snickers, then that Kit Kat, then that Star Crunch. Tearing it up. What you said. Okay, we're going to kick it to our last break. And when we come back, we'll finish up with emotional pain, giving our last thoughts. Take us to our last break. DJ Vibe.
Okay. Our awesome sponsors, Vision Enterprise 20, is always working to make dreams a reality. And with that being said, let's listen to this up-and-coming artist, Michael Gross from Memphis, Tennessee, our neighbors. This is Windblow.
Striking now, pockets pumping up, ain't no stopping now. Intoxicated flow, never sober now. Limitless talent, quickly I pick you out, smoke like I breathe. Ain't no more running out, sun shining on me like I was the golden child. Find a recliner, I'll make a throw in a towel. Head on no swivel, you looking like it now. R.I.P. tab, you who I'm missing now. Chasing that money, I keep me a paper route. Constantly hustle, decisively figure out. Initiate fear if I ever feel down and now. Loving my hoes and my partners, they slip aside. G is the realest, y'all sure they gon' figure out. G is the realest, y'all sure they gon' figure out. Roll like a window, like the sun shining on me. Jason up in the cloud smoke, the sun shining on me. I got the green light, so you know to go. I'm shitting on these niggas, don't need no teacher. Give me a bankroll, a knot can't fold for grinding hard. Coming on with the more, I'm running to the paper. Fuck all the kicking shit, holla at you later. The money keep calling. I pick up the plate and serve them. I'm the waiter, I'm getting to the grind. I'm stacking money, I'm spiked up every time. Shooting with the 9, make them lean on me, Ricky from behind. Rolling in my prime, on my curvy shit, no sign lag. Got my foot up on the gas. I'm running up cash, no game, I'm burning now. Fuck what you talking about? The hustler of year I am, I'm sure now. Fuck what you talking about? The hustler of year I am, I'm sure now.
So let's look at some ways to deal with pain. Pray. That's the number one thing. Pray and seek God. That, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't tried him, give him a try.
That's right. Amen.
Meditate. That's why I was saying earlier about when you have drained all the energy out of me and we not seeing eye to eye and we get in those foolish, selfish ways, I have to step back and I have to let that rest. You know what I'm saying? Because when you high up on tempers, you really don't think as good as you do when you calm down because you quick, because you hurt. So you saying and doing a whole bunch of stuff that when you think about later, you like, man, damn. Now I got to get myself out of that. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I wouldn't have said that. And I wish I wouldn't have reacted that way. So sometimes it's good to say, okay, I need to go. And that's what I do. And I need people to realize this. When you're dealing with me and I see the temperatures are high, and you can ask DJ Vibe this, I walk away. Not finna, let me go. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stay there, then we hollering, screaming, fighting, chunking stuff. So don't get offended because I'm walking away and you saying you giving up or you quit, then get out and all that. Nah, I'm walking away because this will go real bad real quick. Why? Because I'm on red. And I done had these incidents happen to me twice where they bucked the bull. People think they want to see the bull until the bull show up. Yeah. Then you sit there and poke the bull and you say negative stuff about the bull, but then when the bull charge you and kill a clown, then we the bad guy. How we the bad guy? Okay. Walk away. And you need to walk away. I'm gonna walk away. I need to go calm down. I need to get in some time. I need to think this thing out before I say some stuff that I can't get back. Because I be wanting to say some stuff. I be literally wanting to get over there and play your game. You know, fuck you and all. You know, so let me give it some space. So, and come back to it. So meditate. Seek medical attention if needed. Listen, you sit in your room and you crying and you look over there at that gun and them bullets. Stop what you are doing and call somebody. Right. Immediately. And if you put them on the phone, you keep trying, you do get somebody on the phone. And let me say this to the people who answer the phone. Stop telling them, oh, I ain't finna sit here and listen to this. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You gonna be all right. Stop that. Right. Just listen. Sometimes you need to just listen. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna sit right here. No matter if it take 4:00 in the morning, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna listen to you. Okay? What's on your mind? What's on your heart? Because just because I can't feel it, don't mean it's not real.
Yes.
Yes. Listen. And let me bounce off you right quick right here, TT. Stop telling people that have issues going on in their life to call. You can call and talk to me. Stop saying that if you don't mean it. Right. Because if that person called you and you are that person's last resort and they call you and you don't and you say, I ain't got time for this, you may have ended that person's life right there. Yeah. Right. So if you don't mean it, I'm talking to everybody out there in listening land. If you don't mean you can call me anytime and talk to me, stop putting that out there. I have a rule with my family. If you call me, I ask you one question. Are you calling me to get advice, to talk back, or are you calling me just to listen? Do I not do that, TT? Yes. And whatever they tell me that they calling for, I give them that. Anybody that feels that I am such a friend that they can call and talk to, they call and talk to me, no matter the time of night. That's all I got, TT. Anybody else?
Yeah, or when you say, I'm here for you, or, you know, and then when you lean on that person, they're not there for you.
Right. What you said, repeat that. No, I'm serious. Repeat that.
I was just bouncing off, like when you tell a person, you know, I'm here for you if you need me, but then when you're in need of that person, they're not there for you. Don't say it if you don't mean it.
Bam, there you go. That way. And
because in some ways, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel guilty, but in some ways, you know, when you deal with people that commit suicide, you know, sometimes when the main people like, why didn't they call me? Why didn't they come to me? How do you know what if they did come to you?
Yep. Yeah. DJ
Vibe, you were saying something. What was you saying, DJ Vibe?
I'm glad you guys brought up the whole suicide thing because emotional pain does lead to a lot of suicide.
It do.
The fact that you're putting out there to just tell your friends and family, just call me and I will listen. You can just get it all out because like TT was saying, you could get so angry or poke the bull so much to that it makes her want to say things. I used to get so mad it make me want to do some things. So I ain't mad about saying that. You get to where you want to do some things. I'm tired of talking, but I had to mature a little bit, calm down and say, hey, let me just say nothing and let them finish their thought, let them get it out and don't even react to it because I live by let's agree to disagree. I live by it and walk away.
What?
Revisit it later.
I wish everybody would adopt that. I wish people would realize it is having a debate. It is okay if we're having a discussion. When it gets out of hand, let's agree to disagree and walk away from it. Don't stop taking it as a negative. Stop taking it as for everything we got to talk about, turn to an argument. It's only an argument if you're saying, I want you to think like me. It's only an argument if you're saying, hey, your opinion should be my opinion. And I think we should get that t-shirt made. Can we not agree to disagree?
I got it down, girl. I already got it down. I'm already a step ahead of you.
Like, I don't agree with you. That don't mean we can't get together later. It don't mean that we can't come back and you can make me see it another way. But what I'm saying to you today, I don't agree with that. Now, we done said what we said, right? Let's go on back here and handle business.
Right.
I don't understand why I can't get away, but hey, to each his own, DJ Vibes would say. Okay, DJ Vibe and KML got some good sayings. It's gonna take some time, and to each his own.
Kayla, can you just say it one time?
It's gonna take some time.
Okay, what's said? Take over-the-counter medication only when it is prescribed or directed by your doctor. Don't be in there just taking a whole bunch of Tylenol and stuff like that. If you done talk to your doctor and they see that you're in a fragile state and they don't think that a narcotic is the best route to go with you in a fragile state, so they tell you to go home and take 2 Advil. Take 2 Advil. They didn't say pop the whole bottle. Take 2 Advil, and as DJ Vibe just said, we will revisit the situation. Reduce your stress. You can reduce your stress through massage therapy. You can reduce your stress through exercising. You meditating, yoga, lifting weights. It is so many ways to take your stress out on other than a person. Get you a punching bag. My pastor says that one of his preacher friends told him that when he got mad at his wife, or his wife got mad at him, they went outside and picked a tree, and they named that tree that person. And they went out there and they gave that tree a good talking to. Cussed that tree. Sally, I'm sick of your such and such and such and such and such and such. After he talked to that tree and got it all out, and after she did the same, they'll come back in the house. Baby, you want me to make you some tea? You want some peace? So that's a stress reliever. That way, you taking it out on that person. It didn't get so bad that now she got a busted lip and a swole eye. You went out there, cause I tell you what, go out there and hit that tree. That tree gonna hit you back, cause your hand gonna be broke. Okay? So that reduce stress in your life. And if you got something that negative in your life that's causing you that much pain and that much conflict off of the littlest thing, then you just need to be alone for a while. Yeah. Because every little thing should not get your goat. Every little thing should not be blown out of proportion. It should not be taken to the extreme of going off or hitting that person or dogging that person or calling the shots off with that person, because you're going to have that in life. That is no escaping that. I don't care who you go get. And this is another show, but I'm going to say this. You can keep on getting them as young as you want to get them, but one day they going to grow up. Yep. Let that marinate.
Let that marinate. And while you letting that marinate, they got Bob self-defense dummies on eBay for $140. Get you one. And take your frustration out on that Bob, the defense dummy.
This has really been a great roller coaster ride. We're dealing with the different types of pain. We have learned so much talking about this, and we really hope that we help someone out there. You never know, as DJ Vibe, when she closed this, you never know how something or some word can bring someone some comfort. So we're hoping tonight that we have brought you comfort if you're dealing with the emotional side of pain, and we hope we also brought you comfort and told you where to go to for your physical pain and for your mental pain. Always try to get to some help. There's some people out there that will help and who will be available for the help. So we're going to finish up our closing remarks. Go ahead, TJ Vibe, your closing remarks of emotional pain.
Like I said, I live by let's agree to disagree. I live by it. I love TT's example of the tree and her pastor where he told her, because I believe it gives you a way to compromise and agree to disagree. You could compromise by going out there and telling that tree whatever you need that tree to hear, And even if you don't get closure at the moment, it just deflects everything for the moment and say, hey, we can revisit it later to get closure for both of us. But to get everything calmed down, I say, hey, that tree example is great. And just agree to disagree is something to live by.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there. What you got for me, Baddie J?
Pain is real.
Amen.
You're not alone. Everyone is going through pain, but just know that there's someone out there that is going through the same thing as you or worse. Always try to think of positive instead of the negative, because everything does take time. As it says in the Bible, this too shall pass.
Yes.
So feel your pain, like we stated in this episode, embrace it, deal with it head on, pray for strength, and just give it time. That's all I got.
And what are your last thoughts on emotional pain, KML?
I'm going to yield my closing remarks to you, TT.
Well, all right. I have something here that I wanted to read. When I said earlier I will come back to my thoughts as I was going around, and I wanted to say this to the end. Emotional pain. I myself have dealt with a lot of emotional pain. It is the most difficult pain to overcome because it is internal. It's always there. It's even harder to face it because that means you have to deal with it. And we have a hard time doing that, which is where the real addictions come in at, and suicide. I myself have tried suicide when I was younger in school. I was dealing with my rape at 13, the fact that I was being bullied at school every day and didn't feel accepted or loved by my own family. I was in a dark place, a real low, and I felt the only way out was taking my life. But my oldest brother came in the room and stopped me and let me know that I wasn't alone and that my family did love me. Finding love has always been hard for me because even though I do everything I can to make the other person happy, it's never enough. I'm not good enough, or I feel as if I don't deserve their love. It has been a real struggle for me, and sometimes it still is. I just try to suppress it, but that's not the best thing to do either. Emotional pain has to be embraced. You have to deal with it. It's tough and it's hard, but it's going to make you strong. It's going to make you strong in yourself and in your faith with God. I always go to God in prayer. I always seek Him now. And with Him, I have overcome so much. So my hero tonight is God. And I thank Him for always being there.
Take your time.
And always listening, because He is one that is there no matter the time, no matter the day, no matter the hour. So my hero tonight is God, and I love Him and I appreciate Him. Practice positive thinking. No pain, no gain. God says that suffering is without a purpose. God uses circumstances to teach powerful lessons and to accomplish His will. Always seek God. All right, we're going to go to our favorite thing. It's shake
The
jar.
shake jar.
Pour something good. Don't pour one of KML's, though.
Okay, we ain't going to pull one of the bills, hopefully, honey.
I got it.
For us, DJ Night now.
I got it. Courtship at teens, at your 20s, at your 30s, and at your 40s.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Alrighty then.
And I believe that's in there twice, because I think I put that in there too.
Hey, well, that means it need to be talked about, because we need to go courtship rules, because some people are slacking on them. Okay?
Yeah. Some of them don't even know it. It ain't about the sex ship. It's about the what?
Courtship.
But that's our show tonight. Do we have any shout outs?
Yeah, I got a shout out. Give a shout out to Serenity Day Spy Karen. Thank you, girls, for your support and your love. Appreciate you.
I want to do a shout out tonight to my team at Taco Bell. Yes, sir. Taco Bell, you helping me get it all out. So, you know how it go. When you can't tell your mama,
Tell your TT.
And again, we thank our listeners. Please listen. If you're on YouTube, please hit like, or don't like or subscribe. If you go to any of the podcasts, follow us and do the same. We appreciate our listeners. We appreciate our fans. I get so much good feedback. And hey, fellas, I'm gonna get them slide-ins in. Give me a little time. We working on it. But I want to thank the team too, because without you guys, I can't put this on. So I love my team. I love what we do. I thank you guys, and everybody have an awesome night. And we out.
And as always, we thank our awesome sponsors, Vision Enterprise 20, Work on Me Therapeutic Massage, and Pope Loan Services. We do not own the rights to any music played on the podcast. The views and opinions given are only those of the podcast panel and no one else. The views and opinions given do not represent the views and opinions of Vision Enterprise 20 or its parent company, nor the companies that the panels are affiliated with or may have previously communicated. The information given is considered reliable, but neither Vision Enterprise 20, the panel, or its affiliates warrant completeness or truth, and should not be considered as such. And with that being said, you never know what word or words will bring someone, somewhere, some closure. We thank you for joining us.
I shook your baby.